guys, Singing here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so, coming out tomorrow on Global, sometime probably around 12 hours after this video goes up, we are going to have the Extreme Z battle for INT Angel Golden Frieza. I will be live and streaming the EZA, so make sure you come check that out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, hit that bell notification so you know when I go live. And come hang out in the stream and we can talk about the unit. This one's going to be interesting because he's probably considered one of the worst EZAs that came out this year. So be interesting when we've got him fully EZA'd and start trying him out in some events. But his EZA is coming out. The weakness category is Defenders of Justice. It is a standard 30-stage EZA. You can see the damage reduction is for Tech and Extreme. So once you get to stage 13 onwards, you don't want to bring any tech units unless they're solely there for defense, and you don't want to bring any extreme units, which, I mean, Defenders of Justice, I don't think they have a single extreme unit, so that's fine. Standard 30-stage EZA, obviously you get all the medals to EZA him, you get a bunch of INT orbs, you get 11 type guys. I'll always love the fact that you get an extra 6 of these if you're putting the unit up to SA 15, gives you some to put towards units in the future. And then obviously you get 30 stones. There's a couple of missions as well, so you do get 34 stones in total. So, we're going to take a look at the Defenders of Justice category. As always with my team building guides, I will be going over my top picks and honourable mentions for this event. If there's any units that I don't mention or you think I should have talked more about, let me know down below in the comment section. And of course, if you do find the guide helpful at all, do hit that like button. So, jumping straight in, obviously the main leader for Defenders of Justice is the STR Videl. She's still a solid enough unit in terms of the not hardest level difficulty content in the game. I mean, she can still be used in the difficult content if you get good RNG, but obviously she has the built-in chance to dodge. If she dodges or gets hit before she attacks, she gets some extra buffs. So obviously she's at her best when you can put her in slot 1 and she dodges and gets hit by an attack. So she gets her full buffs. She has a unit super with a Gohan Teen, Ultimate Gohan or Great Saiyaman, which obviously on this category it is perfectly possible to do. She infinitely stacks attack, but she gets a greatly raise on the unit super. So obviously she's going to do a little bit more damage. So overall, she's probably one of the best choices for lead if you just want to have as varied a roster as possible, because you can obviously use any Defenders of Justice leader, any unit. She also gives 4 key as well as the full 170, so any LRs or anything, like, it's going to work out quite nicely, especially because some of the units that you can bring won't necessarily link the best together. So her having that extra key from the leader skill is definitely going to be very, very useful. So she does have a active skill to give her extra attack and lower defense. You can use that on turn 4. So for an EZA, you might be able to end up using that kind of like a finisher, but you're not necessarily going to see it all that often. So in terms of the other leaders, we have the new Jacko that came out on the Resurrection of F Blues banner. I know a lot of people did skip that banner. He is only a 130 lead because he's like the sub leader, so obviously not as great. But as a pick for the team, he's obviously going to be very good. He's got a 70% chance to dodge, so you can just use him on the team as a decent defensive unit. He's going to be attacking an extreme class enemy, so he gets his attack buff, and then obviously he gets a buff up to 4 dodges. For him to get fully built up. He gives himself key as well, so obviously again, like on the Videl team, he's not going to share a ton of links with her, but he's not going to have a problem super attacking, so he's definitely a good pick for the team. Now, when it comes to global, we have a significant advantage that JP did not have when this Extreme Z battle came out, and that is of course the fact that we have the Gammas on global. And Gamma 2 specifically, because his leader skill is movie heroes, androids, or special pose, and a lot of the like Great Saiyaman units, that Jacko that we literally just looked at, are on special pose, then you can very easily make a team with double Gamma 2 leads that is actually full Defenders of Justice. So if you did pull Gamma 2, then this is obviously going to be the best way to beat this event. Obviously, if you pulled Gamma 1 as well, you are just going to be laughing, because you have those two together. Gamma 1's just not going to take any damage. Gamma 2's going to go ham. And obviously these guys, because of their intro animation, they're at their best potential for getting like additionals, getting their build up and stuff like that in the first couple of turns, which for an Easy A is obviously ideal, because it's usually only going to last a couple of turns. So these two together, like if you get these two as your starting rotation, between the two of them, they're one turning like every phase, probably up until even like stage 20, if not even higher. So if you have the Gammas on global, you are absolutely gonna make this Easy a cakewalk. So if you have them, obviously perfect to bring. If you only have Gamma 1, you can't really make a Movie Heroes and Artificial Lifeforms team that is full Defenders of Justice, but obviously, even if you don't have Gamma 2, you would run him on the team, even if you're not running him as a leader, and he's still going to be very, very good. So, the Gammas, absolute ace in the hole, top pick units for this Extreme Z battle, and of course Gamma 2 can be the leader, which means, you know, him, the friend Gamma 2 and Gamma 1 are all going to be getting the 200% from the leader skill as well, so they will absolutely tear through this Easy A. So next up we have our boy Tech Gohan, everybody's favourite. I thought we would include him because as a tech unit, he's obviously going to get the damage debuff, but he's basically just going to be here to be all about the defense, right? He has guard, he builds up as he attacks. Because he's a teen Gohan, he fulfills the thing for Videl to get her unit super attack. So he's definitely worth using on the team. Even without Videl, he's not going to do a lot of damage because of the reduction, but he's obviously still going to be a very strong defensive option, and he'll link up well with a lot of the other units that we're going to talk about who are like Gohan or Goku family units. So he's definitely a top pick for the team as well. Next up we have Vegito, Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. So, not only the Gammas are going to be very good, but if you, like me, are a Heroes fan, and you've done summons on the Heroes banners over the last couple of years, any Heroes unit that is considered to be part of the Time Patrol is on Defenders of Justice. So there are a lot of good Heroes units that you can bring. Super Saiyan 4 Vegito obviously is providing support to crossover allies as well as Giant 8 power, has type advantage, has a chance to counter supers, so obviously he's going to be very, very good. I would potentially bring him on the team even if you didn't have any other Heroes units on the team. He can still be pretty good, and obviously pulling off that super attack counter is obviously going to be pretty nice. And then we have units like the INT Xeno Pan. She's a crossover leader. Obviously, Vegito is a crossover leader as well. I should mention this, the fact that you could just make a full Dragon Ball Heroes team for this, using all of the ones that are Defenders of Justice. So Xenopan gives a support buff to Dragon Ball Heroes, has the built-in chance to dodge. She gets extra defense every time she dodges. And then obviously if you're on a full Heroes rotation, she gets extra attack and defense as well. So she's definitely a good pick for the team if you have other Heroes units to be there for support. Even if you're only running her and one other Heroes unit, she obviously has that decent defensive utility as well. So she's very good. Of course, we have Xeno Goku, because we've already mentioned a couple of Goku family units, like the Gohan, like the Pan. So this guy on the team is going to be very good, greatly raising attack and defense, infinitely stacking on his super attack. He's got type advantage, so obviously he is going to be looking very, very good in this event, whilst also providing the support. So then we have the Limit Breaker. I was going to say that because it's the name of the card. Super Saiyan 3 Xeno Goku. Now, this guy's going to Easy A in a couple of weeks. So, obviously, at the moment, he's not really at the level of the current meta. But Easy A's are a bit on the easier side. If you are going to run a full Heroes team, then I think he can still be good, right? Because he has guaranteed guard, and then he has 7% damage reduction per Heroes ally on the team, up to 35%. So, if he's got that full 35%, because you are running a full Heroes team, then obviously he can still look very good, especially if you have him on rotation with that Xeno Goku for the support, because then it doesn't matter that they don't share the same like key links, although I believe, yeah, they both have sharing the limit, but with the support, it doesn't matter that he's an over in a flash unit and Super Saiyan Goku is a prepared for battle unit. They're not going to have any problem supering, and then with the guard and damage reduction, plus that Xeno Goku support on top, then obviously this guy can be pretty good. His damage is a bit outdated, but he will be good defensively. Then we got some support units that are definitely going to be very good. The Super Saiyan 2 Great Saiyaman. So again, because of the name, helps out with the Videl. He greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn. Provides a lot of support to super class allies. He also gets an extra buff when there's an extreme class enemy, which obviously there is. So he fits very nicely on the team. There's also the High School Gohan, who gives allies the support whilst also having damage reduction. So he's a unit that it took a very long time for him to fall off. It's only really like the hard red zone stages now where he does still start to take quite a reasonable amount of damage. So in an easy A, he's obviously going to be very, very good. Then we have this Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. He has type advantage. He's greatly raising attack and defense. He gives allies 35% support, which is pretty good. And then he has a built-in crit and dodge chance of medium 30% once he has performed 3 super attacks. So unless he's getting additionals, obviously in an easy A, with it not going on as long, you're potentially not going to see that. But you're probably bringing him on the team just to be a 3rd slot floating support unit for that nice 35% buff. So he's going to be very good, and he'll hold his own, raising the defense on super and having type advantage. Next up, we have the LR Great Saiyaman 1 and 2. Again, going to be very good for support. They've got type advantage. Just a very solid unit to have on the team. They actually can put out some pretty decent damage and have good defense against an extreme class enemy as well. So overall, these guys are just going to be a very solid support. I mean, the fact they give 4 key and 50% defense is just another unit that, even if you've got kind of a wonky mix on the team, like if you're using Videl as the lead and then you've got various different Defenders of Justice, like a couple of heroes units, maybe Gamma 1 because you don't have Gamma 2, like having a unit that gives 4 key to all allies is obviously going to be very beneficial to the team. And then last but not least, I thought we'd mention this Videl as an honorable mention because remember, for an easy A you can't use same name units, so you can't use her and the STR Videl. So it might be difficult to even fit her on the team, to be honest, if you're not running the other Videl as an actual full-on Defenders of Justice lead. But she gets buffs for Peppy Gauss allies on the team. She gets extra defense when performing a super. She infinitely stacks attack, but then she recovers HP based on the damage that she does, which in an easy A, where you can't use items to heal, is obviously going to be quite useful. But I think she's probably going to end up being difficult to actually fit on the team, since if you're not running STR Videl, you're probably running a more specific, like the Gammas build or a Heroes build, and then she doesn't fit on those teams anyway. But if you can fit her in there, she can be pretty decent. The heal can be quite nice. So if we go back to Defenders of Justice, obviously we have these free-to-play leaders if you have no other options to use as a leader. Didn't talk about Jiren because obviously he's tech. He's really only a unit that was designed to deal damage. Now, we do have the Super Saiyan 3 Xeno Gotenks and the Gohanks. They're another 2 good heroes units that you can use together, especially, and they'll work out quite nicely. None of these other AGL units really stand out super well. Like Dispo is okay, but doesn't really fit in the kind of teams that we're talking about. Xeno Vegeta is good, like the Xeno Goku. Obviously, you could run God Trunks, but with the damage reduction, there's not really much point. I mean, you could run him as lead if you're running a heroes team and you don't have the Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, but I mean, his main, like, he has to be on really a full heroes team, and then his main draw is damage, which he's obviously not going to do because he is a tech unit. But Xeno Vegeta can still be good even without a bunch of Vegeta family units on the team, because just like the Xeno Goku, he is very solid. But if he eats a super attack, like on turn 1, when you get to the later phases, he's potentially going to take a fair bit of damage. And then obviously some of the other heroes units like Vegex is going to be pretty good. This Xeno Vegeta, again, getting his Easy A soon, but pre-Easy A, he's more offense focused than defense. So he does have type advantage, so he could still be pretty good. But obviously he's not going to be anything too crazy. The free-to-play Krillin, Goten, and Marin is like a good free-to-play option as well, I guess. I guess Android 17 could be pretty good, providing that defensive support to everybody. He is not on... Actually, if you're running Gamma 2 as the leads, because he has the androids as one of the secondary 170 leads, he does fit under his leader skill, so he could actually be pretty worthwhile on the team as well. So this is going to be one of those ones where if you pulled the Gammas or you've summoned a lot on heroes, you are going to be able to make a very, very powerful team. Otherwise, it's still going to be very straightforward to just use Videl and then pick and choose your best Defenders of Justice units to put on the team. So all in all, I don't think this one should be that difficult. But as I said at the beginning, let me know if there's any units you think I missed out, or any of the units I did talk about, if I missed one of the factors that makes them super good for this event. Make sure you let me know down below in the comment section, and also let me know what your team build is going to look like for this EZA. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the live stream where we will be doing this live alongside the Super Battle Road stage that is also going to come out, which I'll also do a team building guide for. Going to be doing all of that on the stream live, so hopefully I will see you there. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.